Hello, I hope you're doing very well. This August blue supermoon, where old energy suddenly pops up in our lives to play with us a little bit. Old energy being in the form of people, being in the form of thoughts, emotions, situations, triggers that reactivate an old wound or an old trauma that you might have thought that you had overcome, only to be completely shocked and surprised that you haven't, and that you still need to do a little bit of internal healing. So just be cautious. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about the supermoon and the blue moon and a lot of people doing videos about that. I'm sure you can find it. I am here to talk to you about 5 myths regarding meditation, or excuses that people believe in, stories that we've told ourselves over and over and over again, or we've heard, to dismiss that we might benefit from sitting down with ourselves and meditate. The first myth that I would like to bust for you is, oh, I can't sit down. I can't sit down with myself. I'm too fidgety. Or it's very difficult for me. I have to keep busy. I can't sit down. It's extremely difficult. And I hear this a lot on a one-to-one basis in real life or online. The short answer is yes, you can. You can sit down with yourself, even if you have to fidget for a little bit, and train yourself. Train yourself to meditate. The main reasons people feel extremely uncomfortable when asked to sit down and meditate is because we're not comfortable in our own skin. A lot of us have lived, actually the majority of humans have lived their entire lives keeping busy and being blind to our own personal issues, our own patterns, our own false beliefs that in many ways keep us not just stuck in life, but keep us repeating patterns, perpetuating cycles. Repeated energy appears in our lives in specific situations. The people might be different, the environment might be different, but the energy of the situation is the same. That's an unhealed trauma, or that's a story that you tell yourself that doesn't belong to you and doesn't fit you, nor does it suit you, and it's making you go in circles in your life. A lot of us are not comfortable in our own skin because we are unable, we were not trained, we were not told, we were not advised on how to sit down and confront our demons. There's no actual thing as demons, by the way, but confront your shadow self. I shouldn't probably use the word confront. Befriend your shadow self. And in order to befriend your shadow self, you must confront some fears that you have. Common issues that stop people, and it would stop me too, from being able to sit down in stillness and focusing on myself and my breath and going within rather than engaging the thoughts that will, without a doubt, come over and say hello to you and try to play with you. And because you have not been told anything but to engage in your thoughts and the emotions that arise from them, you are unable to sit down and meditate. The main issue is courage. is really what is required. Courage and the determination, the need and the want to improve your life, the desire to want to move away from stagnation, from the cycles of repeated, why do I always find myself in this situation? Why do I always find myself attracting assholes into my life? Why does no relationship work out for me? Why can't I keep a job? Why can't I keep money? Why can't I make money? Why can't I be confident in myself? Why? Well, in order to answer these questions, you kind of have to sit down with yourself and go within, because no one outside of you will be able to answer these questions for you. The answers are within. So the fidgetiness that a lot of people say that they can't sit down because of is a block, that you need to simply make a commitment that you're going to overcome it and you're going to resolve all these issues, and that meditation might be in fact worth it. Meditation is not an excellence. You don't need to sit down and get it right on the first time, or the second, or the third, or the fifth, or the 10th. Many people who are very experienced in the practice of meditation find that suddenly they can't sit down and meditate. But we know not to get frustrated with ourselves, and not to judge ourselves, and not to call ourselves failures, and to give up. We know that it's just not working for me right now. Let me take a break and come back to it later. Maybe go out for a walk. Maybe go out for a run. Maybe work out. I don't know. Have a nice bath. Whatever works for you to clear your mind and come back to the practice. Don't give up on yourself. That's my 2 cents worth when it comes to encouragement to get you to sit down and meditate. We don't always get it right, which is why it is termed a practice. A practice. You practice meditation till the last day of your life. Sometimes you get it right and you connect and you resolve issues and you get amazing information and insight, and sometimes you don't. Just know when to say, okay, this isn't working for me right now. I'll come back to it later. In a nutshell, the main issues that prevent a lot of us from wanting or being able to sit down in stillness or in meditation are issues regarding self-loathing, self-hatred, self-judgment, being hard on yourself, selflessness. You gotta prioritize yourself. You gotta be selfish. You gotta put time aside for you and understand that you are worthy. Which brings me to another issue, which is lack of self-worth that many of us don't even know we have. We would rather please other people, do what other people want, give other people our time and prioritize them rather than prioritize ourselves. Love other people and beg for love from them rather than pour love into ourselves. You gotta fill your own cup first before you can give to others. And one of the best ways to fill your own cup is to give yourself this time of going within and congratulating yourself. Even if you were able to sit down for 2 minutes and meditate, I did good. Yesterday I couldn't sit down at all. Today I sat down for 2 full minutes. I'm amazing. I'm good. Not from ego. Be careful. The ego will creep up, as it does in every aspect of your life. Don't allow it to creep up in your own spiritual or self-development practice and start lying to yourself. Be honest and truthful with yourself, as much as it might hurt to be that. But do congratulate yourself, pat yourself on the back, love yourself, pamper yourself, and give yourself a self-hug if need be. You'd be surprised how amazing it feels. Myth number 2. I get attacked by thoughts whenever I sit down in stillness. I can't. I have to have the TV on. I have to be talking to somebody. I can't. I can't. I engage my thoughts and I can't. I don't know what to do. I am not good at it. I can't control my thoughts. Very few people can control their thoughts all the time. We try. And nobody's asking you to control your thoughts 24/7. There are many a times where you won't be able to control your thoughts at all. Almost as if you're having some form of energetic attack. As long as you're aware, that is the key here, is to remain aware that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind your thoughts. The best example that I can give you is, imagine if you were sitting on a bench outside in a park or on a chair in a mall and you're just people watching. People watching is actually a good practice because you're gonna see people walk by, lots of people, tons of people, and you're gonna hear conversations as well. When you're people watching, do you go and pull people and sit down with them and tell them and correct them about the conversation that they're having and insert yourself in their conversations and in their lives, or invite them over? Every person that walks by, you sit down with them and buy them a cup of tea and talk to them about your life and get to hear about their lives? You do? No. We don't do that. And that's how you should treat thoughts. Treat thoughts as people walking by. They're blabbing, they're blabbering, and you're just observing. You're the observer, you're the awareness. Oh, okay, all right. You don't really have to engage in each and every thought. You have a choice. You can be selective in what thoughts you engage in, if in any at all. And you can also be selective in how long you decide to engage in that thought and when to disengage. And always congratulate yourself, always feel a sense of joy rather than feeling sad and angry and judge yourself and like a failure because you engaged in thought. When you lose yourself in thought and then suddenly catch yourself again, I did good. I caught myself today. Yesterday, I wasn't able to catch myself and I drifted in all these thoughts and I ended up with a storm of thoughts that triggered a whole bunch of emotions. And I might have acted on some of these emotions. Today, I was able to catch myself and I didn't act on any of these thoughts. Treat the thoughts as people walking by. You're just watching them and you say hello. You might say hello to a few people. Thank you. See you later. Acknowledge the thought and you will be surprised how quickly it disappears. Because sometimes that energy only wants acknowledgement from you. You don't have to get lost in your thoughts. You don't have to get lost in your emotions. And that's the trick to successfully practice meditation. Myth number 3. I don't have time. Don't have time to meditate. The answer to that is yes, you do. We have time for whatever it is that we prioritize in our lives. Instead of prioritizing going out for drinks, instead of prioritizing gaming, instead of the incredible addiction that I see every day of people head down on their phone, even in the car, even in the vehicle, with all the laws that we have right now, people still, the phone is literally an addiction. Instead of doing this and prioritizing your time to all these people, whoever they are, that you need to text while you're driving, perhaps prioritize taking 3 deep breaths, 3 conscious breaths instead throughout your day. Maybe every 5 hours, take 3 conscious breaths. You don't have time for that? Prioritize yourself. Be selfish. That's the answer to I don't have time. You have time for you. Make time for you and understand that that is an issue of self-worth. And you are worthy. Myth number 4. Meditation is a religion. It's a religious practice, and I'm not religious. I'm a secularist. I'm an atheist. Meditation is not logical. I don't do woo-woo. Meditation is woo-woo. Meditation is only for spiritual people or Buddhists. The answer is no. Meditation is none of the above. Meditation is a practice that you engage in to disconnect and give yourself some much needed and denied time of solitude. We were not taught how to be in solitude. It's your own sanctuary. It's your own inner world. It is a getaway from the craziness of the outside world that you gift to yourself because you deserve it. And you do it with joy because you're connecting with you and you're going within and you're clearing, hopefully, a path to receive some much needed higher guidance from your higher self that will lead you to amazing things in your life. Rather than book a vacation, spend thousands of dollars and count the days like I see people on social media. 9 days until I go to Costa Rica. 8 days, 8 sleeps until I go to Cuba. 7 sleeps until I go to Florida. Instead of doing that, I don't even know why people do that. Not sure what it is we're trying to prove to other people. Meditate. Meditate in stillness. It is so much better for you, and the guidance and the knowledge that will come through is better than any TV, than any news station, and than any social media that you might engage in. Myth number 5. I can't take meditation seriously. I just can't. It's stupid. It's silly. We actually take this life way too seriously. Way too seriously. Once you realize what this life is and that you can actually manipulate your reality, it becomes fun. And the practice of meditation becomes something that you look forward to rather than something that you hate and detest, like prayer, where you're forced to pray. Not sure what other religions force people to pray, but I can tell you the one that I left not only forces you to pray, but there can be a capital punishment if powers to be find that you are not praying. We as a race have associated practices such as meditation and prayer with fear. And I can tell you right now that you can change all that by changing how you view meditation. And once you begin to do it and see the benefits of it and engage in the bliss of meditation and start changing who you are from the inside and then seeing it change your reality in real time in the outside, it becomes fun. It becomes joy. Treat meditation like a date with a loved one. Do you hate going out with a loved one or with people that you care about? Do you detest meeting up with someone that you're in love with? Well then, treat yourself the same way. And don't take things too serious. Just don't. When it comes to personal development, spirituality, meditation, you have to take it easy on yourself. You really must practice compassion within yourself. Gift yourself compassion. Gift yourself empathy. Gift yourself love. Give these things to yourself. We are so hard on ourselves, and this is why we allow people to be hard on us and think that this is a way of life. And that is it. The 5 myths regarding meditation, and I hope that I've busted them. I'm going to be linking my Patreon in the description as well as the end of this video. I'm doing a Patreon live today where I talk about the retrograde and your shadow self or your inner child. I would love to see you there. Till next time, happy meditating.